Let's talk a little bit about feedback and Marvel Tokon. The beta is complete. And in fact, not only is the beta done, we are now officially 10 days from launch. I have lots to say about the game in general, and I will start with this. Do I enjoy the game? Yes. I think it's a blast. The last time I played the betas, you guys probably remember my feedback was like, you know, it's cool, but I don't know if I see myself playing it long term. Whereas now I'm like, okay, this game is a real game now. It's really fun. The characters are super unique, super cool. Definitely plan on grinding and playing a lot. It is really sick. They did a dope job with the changes to the game. Now, let's not start with gameplay. Let's start with performance. Everybody knows performance, really bad. A lot of people seem to think it's because they have easy anti-cheat and like a bunch of DRM stuff going on there, and like the 12 Sony threads clinging onto your one core of your CPU. It's not great. You can like fix some of it by adjusting settings and like doing some shader stuff and other things like that. But if most people launch the game and the first thing they see is like everything's in slow motion and the game looks really chunky, a lot of people are going to be turned off and think they can't run the game. The other thing about the game, a lot of people online are playing this game at like 50 FPS. And so you're just playing like these slow-mo, super laggy matches. If this game doesn't not only address performance issues, but do like benchmarks, I think it's gonna be so hard to play online. If you're playing the game at like 55, even 58 FPS, right? And you're trying to play against someone else, they're going to be playing the game in slow motion because your game is not at 60 FPS. This happened in Strive all the time, where like every time you counter hit someone or like certain stages were like really laggy and they never added a benchmark. You would constantly run into people where like they would be really laggy and then they would be like, it's fine for me. And they don't realize that their game's lagging. So I think the performance issue stuff, I know that they know about it, but even after whatever changes they make, I think they need a benchmark so that people know if they're running the game at 60 FPS or not. Other stuff around the game. I really like the voice feature options. I love that you can change all the characters. I love that you can change the subtitles for all the characters. The menus are all really pretty. I love the stylized look of the lobby in this game and like walking around and going to Asgard, the way the UI and the comic book menu fills in, everything about the presentation in this game. I think it's legit the best presentation a fighting game has ever had, just because everything is so cohesive. Yeah, it looks amazing. The other thing is the audio in this game. The voice lines from all the characters, they have so many lines talking shit to each other. Like as a fan, you just go, oh, like it's got me constantly so hyped. Like they're all just like saying stuff to each other and talking smack. They like crushed it on every basically part of presentation of the game. I also thought episode mode was really fun. It's just basically a living, breathing comic book, and it's fully voice acted. And like you can skip through and make it faster or slower or whatever. Like this is what the story mode looks like. And then there are cutscenes in it as well. I thought the training mode was pretty good as well. It had most of the features I would want. I'm trying to think if training mode didn't have, it had save states. What didn't it have? Maybe frame data. Frame data is not that important for a game like this, but I don't know if frame data was there. I think it was there though. You just don't need to know the raw. Like in Street Fighter, you need to know if someone's drive rush jab, what the frame data is on it or something, right? But like in this game, do you need to know the frame data on Blade's standing medium? No, because he's never gonna do standing medium. He's gonna do like standing medium into a machine gun, into an assist, into run up medium heavy, do a special move, tag out. Like, do you need to know, oh, the mix-up he did there, the block string was plus 87 instead of plus 65. That being said, it has frame data, but I'm telling you, I don't know if I'm even gonna turn it on. There was no combo trials. There were trials in the menu, I'm pretty sure. You just couldn't access them, right? And they told me they have some cool stuff for them too, so I'm like pretty interested to see what they got going on. Other stuff, matchmaking took a long time for me in ranked. And so I just started playing casual. My casual queue took a while too. And in casuals, I got people who are like clearly pretty new and I got people who are like pretty good. I would say in general, the matchmaking always took too long. Performance issues affected basically every single match probably, I would guess. Nobody's running this game at 60 FPS because it's just blowing their shit smooth off. So like, yeah, it's not great. Smooth off, you say? I think that's most of like the non-gameplay stuff. So the characters are, to me, the shining part of gameplay. Every character I tried, I thought was really cool. I found unique and fun combos with them. They had fun and fascinating things that you could dig into. I saw cool stuff with every character as well. When it comes to the system of the game, there's a lot of stuff I really like and there's a lot of stuff I really don't like. The changes they made were really good. You can call forward, down, or back assists in combos and in block stun. Calling assists while you're jumping feels really nice. The tag being a little faster and snappier feels really nice. Those kinds of system changes are really great. The system is pretty flexible. You can do generic things. Like anytime you do an air combo, you do like jump H, jump down H, spike them down, generic assist, combo off it. Everybody can do that with all their characters in the game. Or you can do unique things with all of the different characters you have on your screen. So that is really fun. Some things about assists. This is a tag game first and foremost. I feel like it is good to start there. Calling assists in this game is the worst feeling I've ever played in any tag fighter. There's so many times where you just can't call assists and there's not really a reason why. If I'm not in block stun and I do my assist button and an assist does not come out, I would just say that that's bad. It's not very satisfying, particularly because you fight Magneto and he's shooting all this stuff at you and you can't like call assist to like get in, because when you block in this game, there's a lockout or you can't call assist after for a while. In every other versus game, I would be able to like jump, call my assist, and then go over them and like bait their anti-air. But like I actually just can't. Sometimes it makes your combos feel harder to do actually, because they're so particular about the rules about when you're allowed to call assist, where you're like, oh, I wanted to do light, medium, heavy, and then delay assist call and then do this, but I can't delay it past this window. Whereas the system of like a more traditional versus game would just allow you to call it whenever, and then you can like fix it. And you may be like, well, this isn't every other versus game. Fair, but I would say that if you make the game feel worse to play, like it doesn't feel good to play because the assists just don't come out, and say we're different, I don't think that's a good thing. I would say the other thing about assists, they're really clunky to call, but also very problematic in neutral. You probably have noticed assists cost nothing. And once you and your opponent both have all of your team unlocked, neutral is just you vomiting. You just go forward, down, back, and just hit the assist button and spam every assist. Both people are just doing that, and it's very hard to play the game. There's no way to tell what's gonna happen. And also the visual clutter is crazy. I see a few of you saying, I like that, I think that's cool. It is really funny the first like 4 times it happens. After you and your opponent are just vomiting assists at each other, you're not using your normals, you're not using your movement, you're not using your character's kit at all, and you're just sitting there mashing the assist button at full screen. It's kind of like how when you eat candy, you're like, ooh, that was really awesome. I ate candy. You know, when you're like 7, but then after a while, you're like, I should probably eat grown-up food or I'm gonna die. I promise you, long term, not a very compelling way to play the game. What happens is they go forward assist, down assist, back assist. They do all their assists at you. Then they run up, then they make contact with you on block, and they have all of their assists available, and they've spent no resources. That part of the game is pretty gross. I wish there was longer cooldown on assists, or that you could not do assist back to back to back like that. That's assist stuff. Block strings and offense and stuff like that. The power level, if I had to tier them, block stun is really easy to obtain. Mix-ups are like under that. It's really hard to get mix-ups sometimes in the game because jump Ls are mids, which I think is fine. I get why they did it. Otherwise, every character in the game would just instantly open you up for free. Some characters have canned mix-ups built in, but a lot of characters, it's kind of hard to like find good mix-ups. You need to like create something sort of crafty, but once you find it, the mix in the game is very powerful. Some characters like don't mix. Like Blade is strike throw man. He leads others to a prize he cannot possess. Mr. Vampire Mids himself. Yeah, you can get blocks done really easily. Mix-ups are like obtainable, but it's a little harder, and defense is like very weak. There's not a lot of ways to interact on defense basically in the game generally. You run up, you do like medium, heavy, special move, call your forward assist, then medium, heavy, special tag, and then you do like a 50-50. And if the 50-50 doesn't work, you do like light, medium, heavy, special move, call your next assist, medium, heavy, special move, tag, and then you do the same thing again. It's only until you've spent your last like green pip that the other person can do the guard cancel option and get out guaranteed. If you watch the TNS, every time someone tries to guard cancel, they like get perfect countered almost every time. And this is 2 or 3 days of beta time. You can imagine how much better people will be at it in like a month. And the penalty for being wrong is like really high. I think the defense probably needs more ways to interact with the offense in the game or the block strings in the game. One thing I will say though is because of the structure of the way tagging works in the game, it takes forever to get to the offense. i.e. you do medium heavy, special move, call assist, run up, medium heavy, another special move, tag, and then that character sets up an elaborate overhead low somehow, right? It takes a full like 3 or 4 seconds from contact to mix, sometimes maybe longer than that. You both have nothing to do and also know that there's going to be a mix up in 8 seconds from now. I wish the game was like a little faster, but I am happy that the mix ups are really good. I would much rather the game have good offense than not have offense. And that's the other thing, is that tag in this game is so powerful. Assists don't give you that much block stun. To get mix-ups in this game, you must use tag. Not only does it enable your mix-ups, but in neutral, when the character is active taggable, they are invincible. This is something about the game that is really crazy. Storm comes out on the screen. The duration that she is switchable, she is invincible. I don't really know why it's like this. This is another reason why assist and neutral are like pretty tough to deal with. I definitely had times where I was just mashing tag and block stun in this game, and I would just like tag out and get punishes, and I was like, I had to shake my head to let him know I wasn't cool with it. Gatlings. I know a lot of people don't like this. The rule is basically if you hit 4 normals on block or on hit, you cannot use any more normals. I think that this is not that big of a deal in terms of a gameplay limitation because you can do combos around it and you can do block strings around it. So if I do light, light, medium, medium, I'm out of my buttons. I can just do a special move, and then combo off the special move, and then continue my combo. Let's say it's on block, I can do special move, call my assist, run up, medium, heavy, special tag. You can work around it. It's not a big deal. The thing is, it feels bad. Like if you do light, medium, medium, heavy, and you try to 2H and the 2H doesn't come out, you're just like, what? And I don't really think it changes the game that much if you have the ability to do it. So like, I kind of wonder why they even have it, because it just feels weird. Because like if you're worried about it on hit, well, on hit you have a combo meter that already arbitrarily limits the amount the combo can extend. And if you're worried on block, I can already get 4,000 frames of block stun very easily. I don't really get it. Combos in this game are pretty cool and pretty fun. I think a lot of them are really long. I don't mind, but allegedly all of you care. The combos are fucking forever and there's no burst. I don't know if you guys saw the Wawa ones, like magic combos, but like calling the portal early and then using the 2H into the air dive kick teleport, corner to corner combos, blowout mix up here, unseeable left right, Dark Child, rejump combos, like you just get 2-touch. Just like that, you're just dead. Like he did a short combo on the first one into a setup that instantly 2-taps you and you're just dead. In general, this game's like combo and block string scenario is much more oppressive than most of the other versus games out right now, actually. Because the defensive options are like pretty weak. There's like no power to them. So because of that, like when you get going in this game, you are just gonna run over the other person. People are gonna either route into the tech out, the call assist, hard tag Oki, like the screen freestyle, or you're going to get wall broken into knockdown, into run up, medium, heavy, special, into like some bullshit. So one thing that you can do in this game is if you double jump cancel and then call assist, because you're neutral during the double jump, it does not cost you assist gauge to call an assist during a combo. So like there's a lot of times where you can do this. So in this combo, he cheats Magneto assist, he does air blowout, and then he does screen freeze Oki. So he does special move with Storm, and then he hard tags into another character while it's happening. And then you can see that he rolled forward during this and then create the mix-up, right? So look at this. He uses an assist in the combo, right? Then he gets to do a meaty with an assist by not spending an assist pip, and then calls a neutral assist again, and he does EX into the hard tag again, right? So he's spent 0 assists and he's used 3 assists to do a combo, get Oki, and get a free 50-50. This hard tag pressure stuff allows you to essentially do assists and not spend any resources. Almost everyone is gonna get stuck on defense down to assists like really quickly. Costs you like no pips, none of your assemble gauge. It's very powerful. Like, look at this cash out damage. He does tag, hard tag pressure twice, mix up. And I mean, this just 2-touches you. You just die in 2 hits here, basically. And then you can do it again. What if you don't roll? I mean, you're just in the corner blocking it anyway. There are things that are no mix. If you don't have the right setup or the right character, some characters just like don't have mix, like straight up, but some have really good mix. It's just really hard to access, which I think is like probably unfortunate design, because like doing this is really not obvious. Generally, it would be better if the mix was a little bit more accessible to most people and just made more sense. This kind of stuff feels like they didn't intend for this to happen, but like it just exists. Anyway, it is really cool and it is really powerful. I think a lot of people are like, they don't realize it, but this game is so messed up. Yeah, like Sonic was like, I don't really like this game. This is not for me. I don't really blame Sonic, because if you like versus games, this game is very clunky. I saw somebody saying, why would someone care about what an NRS player thinks? But this game is essentially like a spiritual successor to the last two versus games that Arcs has made, Dragon Ball Fighters and BB Tag, right? And Sonic Fox is an Evo champion in multiple versus fighting games, including Dragon Ball. So if you're like, Sonic Fox is just an NRS player, first of all, not true. Wrong place to start. And the genre of fighting game that Sonic plays the most is versus fighting game. Sonic's main game right now is 2XKO, and before that, it was fucking Skullgirls and Dragon Ball. So, you know. And as a versus game, it does have clunky stuff in it. But I still think it's really fun. You saw Sonic basically said, oh, I'm having more fun now that I'm playing Spider-Man. I think if you get on the characters that can do the mix, like, the game is really fun. There just are some characters where you're like, bro, I'm midding the fuck out of you right now. You feeling these mids? Because I'm doing some mids. I also think the throw kind of sucks. The throw in this game feels awful if it doesn't break a wall. It also doesn't feel that good in general if it lands. It feels much better if you can meaty after your wall break. Stages, I like that stages have different lengths. Some stages are like middle and then two sides with walls. Some are 5. Some are infinite. Some are 1. I actually do not mind X Mansion, and I do not mind Nowhere. You get better combos on like wall splat stages, but like most people have learned combos that you can just do even without it. This 2-touch that Wawa's doing right here is on the infinite stage. Yeah, you can get even more damage. Like, yeah, you can do way more damage than this. I mean, Magic can TOD from 214M, so that should give you an idea. So that's my thoughts on system stuff. I kind of wish it was like easier to do mix-ups and the defense was better. Those things I think should go hand in hand. That being said, I think the game fucking rips. I think it's really, 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 really fun. It runs awful and it's a little clunky sometimes, but I think moving around feels great in this game. I think the normals feel good. I think the characters all feel good. I think that all that feels amazing. The problems are the way assists feel are a little clunky. They're insanely clunky, I should say. That's like the part of the game that feels the least good. I think the most played characters were Magic, Spider-Man, Magneto, Black Panther, and Blade. One thing is that a lot of the characters who were in the last test were really underplayed. These characters are new. My team is indeed the first 4 characters. That is true. And then the other characters I wanted to play are Wolverine and Storm. The thing about Storm is Storm seems like you need to be a Storm player to play her. I think there's a lot of differences between this game and other versus games for better or for worse, but it's fun. The character kits are all pretty fun and interesting, which I think is a good place to start. If the characters are fun, and people have complaints about system stuff, I think like you can fix that. I enjoy the game, and I think by the time I get sick of the stuff that I don't like right now, the game will probably change is my guess.